But they're really orange. Like, that's pretty orange. And they're really tough. They're cute. Hey guys, we are at the chicken coop. I wanted to make this video because we officially got our first egg. We have now gotten 2 eggs. We're gonna check right now to see if we have anything in here. So very exciting times. We're pretty sure there's only 1 chicken currently laying. This was actually earlier than we had anticipated. We anticipated them potentially starting in like 9-10 days from now, so pleasant surprise that we already have a chicken laying, and I figured I'd take this opportunity, since now we've got some eggs going on, to show you the completed coop. Alright, so first things first, to get into their nesting boxes, we obviously have this set up here. We did, so let me adjust the camera. We purchased this coop from the Amish around here. We added a couple of safety features or protective features for the chickens ourselves. So these little locks here that we put on through the latches just to keep it locked and so that nothing can get in there. Okay, so once you unlatch and you want to check the nesting boxes out, we have this latch up here that slides and we'll hold this up as long as you don't bang into it like I just did. Alright guys, so it looks like we did get another egg. So this is giving us about a every other day kind of time frame on these eggs. So I'm pretty sure, again, we only have 1 hen that's laying, so it makes sense that we're getting these every other day because it's our Americana, which I do have some questions about. Here, quick little intermission to check in with our chickens. One of them is being very vocal right now. What are you doing, lady? So actually that is the one that we do believe to be laying. She is obviously the most matured chicken, so we do believe it is her. But again, I'm a little confused about it because she's one of our Americanas. Now Americanas are supposed to lay blue eggs. So from my research, we probably ended up with an Easter egger. So the difference there is that Americanas strictly, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I'm always open to learning, but from my personal research, Americanas are supposed to only have the blue egg gene. So you're supposed to only get blue eggs from them. Whereas Easter eggers have the gene for both brown eggs and blue eggs. So since she's supposed to be one of our Americanas, and so far we've gotten 3 eggs and they are all brown, I'm going to venture to guess that she is not a purebred Americana. So, but that's okay. All we want are our own farm fresh eggs, with our pasture raised, free-ranging chickens. So we're just very delighted that we are getting eggs, and earlier than we thought. So this is the area they really love to hang out in right here. They love to give themselves sand baths in the mulch. I mean, obviously it's cooler, so that's probably why they like it. But let's check out the coop. All right, friends, so here we have the front of the coop. And here is what the inside looks like. So about, I don't even know if it was a week ago, we put in the bedding for their nesting boxes, and we had this blocked off with a piece of cardboard just so that they didn't find it as a place to sleep and poop in. So we had unblocked that probably 5-6 days ago, and the next day we got an egg, so that was crazy. Here we have their roosting bar, and this was an old ladder for a bunk bed that we had, so just cut it to fit into here and made like some extra spaces for them to roost, and also to hop up onto the roosting bar. But we do find a lot of them will roost up here and up here. So if you open the door, gotta be careful, you could get some chicken poop on your head. So that is what the inside looks like. This is just some extra water. We've got their large water supply out there. This is just to have some in the coop, and as you can see, it's on cinder blocks to keep it as much out of their poop as possible. Okay, now we're going around to their chicken run. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this fencing here was left over from the previous owner of this house, and they used it for dog kennel. So we repurposed it, and it is our chicken run. So we keep this door propped open during the day with a bungee so that they can free range. So they're out from, I don't know, 5:30, 6 in the morning until 8:30 p.m. We've been doing this for quite a few weeks now. Everything has been going smoothly with that. So I'm going to come into the run. They don't spend a whole lot of time in here because they free range. We do have a chicken in here right now, which is a bit interesting. They're usually out and about. We do believe that this one will be the next one to start laying. So maybe she's in here because, I don't know, she's feeling like she's gonna lay soon. I'm not really sure, but usually they are all out and about. Right, little girl? Okay. Okay. They're very soft. If you've never pet a chicken, I would recommend it. And it's interesting because some of them are more soft than others. Anyway, so this is their food and water supply. So obviously a much larger upgraded water supply than the ones inside that we used when they were chicks. And this is their food. Obviously we'll just fill it up here and it'll drop in. Girl, you okay? Why are you yelling at me? I don't know, but in here, and I wish I had a jar of it to show you, but it recently over fermented, but my dad will make gruel. So you can think of gruel as kind of like a sourdough starter. So you take their chicken feed and you cover it with water in a mason jar, and you leave it open to off gas, and over a few days it will start to ferment. And when you smell it, it does kind of give that sourdough starter type smell. It's just the smell of something fermenting, and so it's supposed to be really good for their gut health, their flora, obviously the eggs. You know, we want to keep really healthy chickens, feed them really healthy things. So yeah, gruel. Look it up. I wish I had a jar of it to show you, but like I said, recently our jar over fermented. So, oh well. But if you guys want like a how-to gruel, please put it in the comments below and we can get that done for you. A little tutorial. I did want to peek in the garden and show you guys a little bit of a garden tour as well. So we're gonna go in there. Okay, actually before we go into the garden, I'll give you guys a green stock update. So if you have free-ranging chickens, just beware that the first pot is subject to chickens and their taste buds. So my biggest beets were here that I had started 3 weeks ago maybe, and they're pretty much ripped out now. So first one, not super protected. We've got more beets here in this one. This is a type of frost-resistant lettuce, so hoping that that can take us into October, November timeframe. And then in this one we have bok choy, and in this one we have pak choy. And this is the water basin. So when you water, you just fill this bad boy up and it'll trickle down. We've had lots of rain recently, so I haven't had to do that since I set this up. All right, now let's go to the garden. All right, so we're gonna call this a August garden update because it is almost the middle of August, which is crazy. So some things we've pulled out recently because they stopped producing. Some things are new since the last time we went over this. So let's start where we usually start, the flower bed. So here's my experimental flower bed for the year. Some things going well, some things not so much. I really had to rip out a lot of my zinnias because they just had succumbed to too much disease. So everything in here has been relatively healthy. My snapdragons, they're kind of, before they bloom, they're kind of dying. So I think we're getting to the end of my snapdragons, but I will still enjoy them as they come. Here are my dahlias that I should have staked up prior to, but we had a hurricane come through. They got knocked over. Some of the stems actually broke off, but luckily they survived okay, and I've got them staked up. So you can see some buds coming along there. So I'm relatively happy with that. These ones also have buds, but they're not as open as these ones are. So waiting for those to open up more. My border dahlias are doing beautifully. These are snacking cucumbers. Honestly, some things got really hit hard with Hurricane Debbie, and the cucumbers are one of them because they look drastically different than they did right before Hurricane Debbie. I'll show you our other cucumbers in a minute. More zinnias, and here's some more of my dahlias. I'm afraid that this one's gotten a little too shaded out, so she's not growing as fast as these two over here. And this one's growing like a little faster, but still I'm afraid being shaded out. But even if I don't get a flower, hopefully I keep some healthy tubers so that I can try again next year, because tubers are kind of expensive. What has been doing beautifully is my celosia. So a lot of buds. And here we have some sunflowers. I've cut a couple for bouquets. These ones are branching, so I have actually a lot of buds going on. Here's another bud. Here's one that's about to open up. So happy with the sunflowers. They're honestly probably the easiest flowers to grow in my opinion. Here are my cosmos. They are beautiful, lush, and fluffy, but no buds. And so I'm wondering if maybe they're getting a little bit too much nitrogen. I'm not sure. There are some buds on this plant over here, so I'll be waiting for those to open up. Here we have our pepper bed, which I just harvested. I'll put the picture in here. Like, so many monster jalapenos, but these are producing like crazy. I think peppers are supposed to be, see, like, look at that. I mean, I harvested some huge ones the other day, like I said. I'll throw the photo in there if I haven't already. So we're gonna be making some cowboy candy here soon. So the peppers and the bell peppers too, you can see right there, they're doing amazing. These ones are supposed to turn red. So we've harvested a couple of green ones, but we really want them to go red. But this year, the peppers have just been amazing. Probably the best plant we've had, in my opinion. So yeah, we've been very lucky to have a good pepper harvest. And something else that's been really successful for us as well are our eggplants. So we've already harvested a few and made some, you know, like eggplant parmesan and some roasted eggplant. But look at, we have one, there's a little baby one back there, two other big ones, so 3, 4, I mean, oh, 5, there's back there. I mean, we're kind of loaded with them, so that's fun. So another successful plant for us, eggplant. And here are our cucumbers that just got whacked. Like, they did not look like this before the hurricane. So they had already been producing for us for a long time, and I have heard that if you want consistent cucumber production, that you should succession plant them. So I think we're gonna get our last couple of healthy cucumbers off of here, or maybe I should say few, and then they'll be done producing for us. So, but they've been really good this year. We've made lots of pickles, dill, and also bread and butter. So, okay, here is the bed that has basically turned into marigolds. I picked the tall variety to plant for bouquets, and I also picked these because I heard they were really good for like insect repellent. But this entire bed has basically now turned into marigolds, which I'm not entirely upset about, though it has shaded out some of our lettuce, and at this point it's a marigold bed, and we've got zucchini and squash along the back. So we've got some lettuce in there, and it's not a bad thing for the lettuce to be shaded out, but it's been kind of taken over, I guess I should say. So we planted these zucchinis and squash out in like July at some point, and they've just grown rapidly as you know, as they typically do. So we've got some cue ball ones coming in, which you can harvest at softball size. So I'd say this is a little bigger than baseball, so probably in the next couple days. And we've got another one in there, and a lot of flowers going on. And we haven't been hand pollinating any of these, so the successful ones are just naturally being pollinated. But if you did want to ensure pollination, you can hand pollinate. So if you're interested in that, definitely go look up a video for hand pollination. The tomato bed, the bane of the gardener's existence, in my opinion. So they've done okay. We've got a collection of tomatoes inside that I'll show you guys, and we have prepped some for canning, cored it, froze them. But probably one of the bigger disappointments of the gardening season, but they are one of the more difficult plants. So, you know, just take everything, like I say, every video, the theme is learning. So everything is a learning experience. We still have like so many Romas coming in. I mean, we're just overflowing with them. So the least successful tomatoes for us have been slicing tomatoes, like these. And even the ones of these that have gotten to a nice point, they start to split before they ripen. So I really truly think we're gonna need some covered growing for our tomatoes next year. And this bed is looking pretty empty because we have harvested a lot of our onions, all of the carrots, and I'm trying to germinate some new carrots, so stay tuned on that. You know, I guess this is what gardens start to look like in August, right? I don't know. It is for us. And last but not least, here's the tomato bed, which I will be making a whole video. We will be harvesting potatoes. Did I say tomato bed? I meant potato bed. I don't know what I said. But we will be harvesting potatoes this week. We just wanted to wait for everything to dry out because of said hurricane. We got like over 3 inches of rain. But as you can see, here's like a potato sticking out. I've seen a couple, and I've pulled a couple that have been just sticking out at the surface, but you can see they're all dying back. They're ready. They're ready to go. The last ones to flower were on this side of the bed. So some of these are more healthy, so we might leave those for a little bit longer, but hopefully we have a huge potato harvest that we can share with y'all. And I guess as a little bonus, here's my strawberry and dahlia bed. So all my other strawberries that I put into pots died. these ones have been doing well. And I've even got like a new shoot. So you see that came from this plant, shot over here. So, which is why it's slightly dangerous to plant these just straight in the ground because they spread everywhere. So, but next year I'll have a whole bed dedicated to strawberries. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. I'm very happy to be sharing that we are getting eggs and our garden. There's a lot of lessons learned out of this year, and like I keep saying, I will be making a video about everything we've learned, pros, cons, what we're gonna do different, all of that. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we'll catch you on the next one. So thanks for coming along for the ride. See you later.